Hello, VC. It's that time of year again. New Year's Eve, quickly approaching, and many of you will be popping off the corks on champagne bottles and partying it up. Well, where I live in my province, it's New Year's Eve every night, thanks to OCS. Those guys have really stepped up their game. So, in the old days, you just get a bit of flour, you get some of these pre-rolls here, nothing impressive. They have a few edibles. Ugh. Smells like a skunk's butthole. Anyway, OCS has really kicked up their game in recent months, I would say, in the past year. And now, when you go onto the OCS online, it's absolutely a real smorgasbord of gear that can get your ass stoned. You've got your hash, you've got your resins, you've got your keef, you got your shatter, or shat, as I like to call it. You got your bombs, your patches, salts. I mean, why smoke it when you can wear it or bathe in it? I mean, you got a big selection of edibles now. Who doesn't like a cluster puck? Of course, you also got lots of paraphernalia, like pipes. But I'm not too keen on their pipes. They look a lot like dildos, so I pass on those. So, problem with that is every time you go online, it's impossible to buy just one or two items. You got to buy everything because you want to sample everything. What can you do? You can't, as that commercial says, you can't eat just one. Well, you can't just smoke one, eat one, whatever from OCS. So I order everything, and then each night I grab a few Neo Psych albums, grab all my gear from the OCS, go down to the basement, and start playing records on my vintage stereo system, the old NAD amp. And before you know it, once you start sampling everything, the whole situation becomes psychedelic. And before you realize it, you find yourself talking to your bar bears, and the bar bears are talking back to you. So the bar bears and I, in one of these psychedelic nights, decided to pick the top 5 records for 2021. Took a lot of negotiations, because one bear kept picking Taylor Swift, and I don't even have any of her records in my collection. But finally we came to a consensus. In that haze of OCS smoke, we picked our top 5 albums for the year. And that's what I'm going to do on this video. I'm going to present the top 5 for 2021. My favorites, and the Bears' favorites, of course. Now there's a couple conditions. First, for example, the album had to be released in 2021. About 70% of the albums that I purchased this year are albums that were released previous to 2021. So they don't qualify. Perfect example is Electric Moon Stardust Ritual. I think this came out in 2017. Absolutely fantastic album. It would be on my top 5 if I was just picking top 5 purchases of the year. Also not eligible are albums that came out this year, released in 2021, but contain predominantly old material. Perfect example of that would be Nancy Sinatra Start Walking. This album came out in 2021, but of course it contains tracks that were released in the 1960s. So that's not eligible either. We had to have records that were new material released in 2021. Before I get to the top 5, I just want to have a few honorable mentions. Some very good records that did come out in 2021 that just quite didn't reach the top 5. And one of them is, I actually sent 2 copies, was the Snakes Don't Belong in Alaska. Their release for 2021. This is an excellent album. Highly recommend it. And this is unusual that they didn't crack the top 2021 because one of their albums that they released like around 2017, I guess, 2018, is top 5 in my entire collection. Another artist that didn't quite make it is Diagonal. I believe this is a band out of Chicago, if I remember correctly. An excellent album. Just quite didn't make it. We also have a debut album from a Russian band. Their album was called Holy Trinity. This is a very good album. It's sort of along the lines of 60s psychedelic. And if you're into the 60s psych, you'll certainly like this record. Very good album. Worth checking out. Another very good album that just didn't quite make it is Super Inertia. And that's the 10,000 Russos. Very good album. And this album probably would have come 6. This is probably number 6 in my choice for the year. And this is Grinding Eyes, Taste Monochrome. Very good album. Of course, band that many people are familiar with, the New Candies. They had an album, Vivid, it came out in 2021. Very good album. All of these albums are excellent. They're worth checking out, especially if you're a neo-psych fan. And so now it's time to present the top 5 for 2021, starting with number 5 and working our way up. So here we go.
Feel like
you have it, VC. Those are my 5 favorite releases for 2021. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great day and have a great new year.